What is the most embarrassing story that happened to you? The most embarrassing story that ever happened to me started on a morning when I was already running late, which should have been a warning sign, but of course I ignored it. I had an important presentation at work, one I'd been preparing for all week, and I needed to look at least somewhat put together. Naturally, that was the day I discovered none of my blouses were ironed. Not a single one. In a slight panic, I grabbed the shirt that looked the least wrinkled, ran an iron over it as fast as humanly possible, and rushed out the door. At the office, I tried to act calm, even though I was internally melting. One coworker greeted me and let out a small laugh, but didn't say anything. I thought she was laughing at my out-of-breath sprint up the stairs. 10 minutes before the presentation, while I was setting up my laptop, another coworker came over. She leaned in and whispered, I don't want to scare you, but there's something on your back." I turned around. "What do you mean, something?" She showed me a photo she'd taken on her phone. And that's when everything made sense, including the first coworker's laugh. On the back of my shirt was a huge cleaning service label, one of those long paper stickers they attach when you drop something off. Except this one had a lovely message printed across it. "Do not iron, delicate fabric." And underneath, written in marker, "Please advise the owner." The sticker was big enough to be visible from space. I must have ironed the shirt so quickly that I didn't even notice I left the label stuck to the back. So there I was, walking confidently around the office, looking like a grown woman who couldn't be trusted to dress herself. And the best part? My presentation was in a meeting room with a glass wall behind me, which meant everyone in the room had a perfect view of my back the entire time. When I walked in, people tried so hard not to stare, which somehow made it worse, because I knew they knew, and they knew I knew. One coworker even lowered his head onto the table so he wouldn't burst out laughing. I took a deep breath, ripped off the cursed sticker, and started the presentation like nothing happened. Still, every time I turned toward the screen, I heard a couple of muffled snorts. After it was over, my boss came up to me and said, "Great content." And honestly, that was the bravest presentation I've seen in a long time. That same day, I bought a new iron, and a small sign I keep taped to my mirror: "Check your back before leaving the house." Because nothing humbles you faster than your own shirt announcing to the world that you don't know how to iron.